Hi everyone! Each time we are approaching a new tomato season, we have to choose new varieties that we want to try. Sometimes it's very hard to make this choice, because there are so many tomatoes and sometimes there is very little information about them. So today I want to tell you about 5 delicious tomato varieties that I grew and liked. Our Tomato Express is on its way. Have your seats, we're getting started. The review opens with Sunrise Joss, a variety from the Joss line developed by Fred Hempel, in which it is considered a higher-yielding tomato than Red Joss. I am willing to wholeheartedly agree with this, because the yield of Sunrise Joss really pleased me. The plant is tall and vigorous, easily reaching the 5 feet 7 inches or 1.7 meter mark when grown in 3 stems, and could have been even higher if I had not stopped its growth. The fruits are beautiful and attractive, ribbed, red with yellow-orange stripes. The tomatoes are large, and there are lots of them. They look very similar to Don's Double Delight tomatoes, but unlike them, Sunrise Joss has an ordinary leaf type, not a potato leaf. Even from weak seedlings, I was able to get a strong plant with a lot of these nice fruits of decent size. The average weight was 10.5 ounces or 290 to 300 plus grams, and I love how varied in shape these tomatoes are. On the inside, as I suggested, this is a completely red tomato. Yellow tones are only slightly visible in the seed cavities. The flesh has thick walls and lots of juice, and I really liked the taste of them. It's like a tomato, exactly as a tasty red tomato should be, with a great harmony of sweetness and tartness. I think they would make a terrific tomato juice or sauce, but I mostly ate them fresh and in salads. As the famous jazz musician Louis Armstrong said, there are 2 kinds of music, the good and the bad. I play the good kind. And the taste of Sunrise Joss totally matches that quote. For those who like sweet tomatoes, Don's Double Delight is probably more suitable. But if you, like me, love to have both sweetness and tartness in the taste, then Sunrise Joss is exactly what you need. There are some varieties that make you want to try them right away. One of them is definitely Elzer Farms Brown Derby, created by Maria and Daryl Elzer of Elzer's Country Farm in California, and is a cross between a Paul Robeson and Aunt Ruby's German green tomato, that is, the black and green varieties. This is what explains its unique coloring. The plants are not too tall, reaching a height of 3 feet 11 inches or 1.2 meters by mid-season. I did not notice anything special about the plant itself. It was the fruit that interested me more. Beautiful, rounded, ochre-colored fruits. Even among hundreds of other varieties, they are easy to spot. The bunches are short and can remain untied, which is very convenient. The tomatoes weighed 7 to 14 ounces, or 200 to 400 grams, and I think they could grow larger. The fruit is impeccably beautiful on the cut, rich and vibrant, yellow-orange color with a bronze tint, very smooth and juicy. I was also pleased with the taste. Soft, delicate, definitely exotic. It is dominated by sweetness. I have not noticed any acidity. The flesh is buttery and literally filled with juice, which makes them a great option for eating fresh. I chose Elzer Farms Brown Derby precisely because of its amazing color, and I haven't regretted it for a second. Another tomato I liked was an old heirloom from the Blue Ridge Mountain area of North Carolina called Blue Ridge Mountain. The plants are sturdy, with potato leaves and quite tall, reaching a height of 5 feet 7 inches or 1.7 meters in August. The tomatoes are medium-sized, shiny, flat round, pink in color with thin skin. The color evenly covers the fruits, and there are no shoulders. The tomatoes weighed 7 to 12 ounces, or 200 to 338 grams, which fell short of the stated 1 pound 5 ounces or 600 grams, but still not too bad either. The flesh is dark cherry-colored, juicy and flavorful. The tomatoes have a complex, deep flavor dominated by sweetness, which puts Blue Ridge Mountain on par with the most delicious pink heirlooms, such as purple brandy or pink brandy wine, which, by the way, also have potato leaves. Great for salads and sandwiches. Blue Ridge Mountain is 100% one of my best pink tomatoes for eating fresh, very juicy and sweet. I'm a fan of green tomatoes, so I just couldn't help but include at least one such variety in this review, especially since I mentioned it previously and it is no one else than Aunt Ruby's German Green. The variety is from Germany but was made famous by Ruby Arnold, who grew it in Tennessee. The plant is very tall and thus topped it at 6 feet 3 inches or 1.9 meters when growing in 2 stems. The tomatoes are flat round with slight ribbing, and, as you probably guessed from the name, they are green when ripe. At the same time, it's not difficult to determine the ripeness. The fruits gain yellow and pink tones. The weight of tomatoes ranged from 9 to 14 ounces, or from 250 to 400 grams, which is very good for a green variety. Inside, the fruits are green in color, even with a hint of being bicolor. You can see small pink lines inside. The taste is very good, with enough sweetness and a slight acidity. The flesh is tender and literally melts in the mouth. So it's no surprise that the direct descendants of Aunt Ruby's German Green, such as Elzer Farm's Brown Derby and the Absinthe tomatoes, are just as rich in flavor. After tasting a bite, I immediately wanted more. That said, everything is fine with the taste of these tomatoes. My review would not be complete without the story of a prolific dark-fruited tomato variety called Nibelung. This variety is the result of amateur breeding, so in this case it's not possible to name a specific author, but that does not prevent me from telling you about my experience in growing this tomato. Despite not being the tallest tomato at about 5 feet 3 inches or 1.6 meters, this variety is very productive. The fruits are shiny, dark red-brown in color with green shoulders. When choosing the Nibelung variety, I relied on the many positive reviews about the taste of these tomatoes. The average fruit weight of 6 to 9 ounces or 174 to 258 grams was more than compensated by the number on each plant. The color of the flesh is excellent, dark red, beet-colored, very similar to the black cream tomato. The taste is sweet, berry-like, balanced, without noticeable acidity. Tomatoes with thin skin, very juicy and delicious. By the way, Nibelungs are mythical dwarfs, guardians of ancient treasures in the lands along the Rhine River. In this case, both the treasure and the guardian of the brilliant flavor is the variety itself. Thanks for watching. I wish you more exotics in the new tomato season. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe. You can watch reviews of many other tomatoes on my channel and, of course, love tomatoes, grow tomatoes. This is the Lucky Garden channel, and see you soon.